We back. The Truth, episode 68 in the building. We got some special guests to talk this Eagle football today. Hope y'all ready for it. But for those who are wondering what my quarterback was doing.
Jalen, what are you wearing tonight?
Come talk to us. And congratulations, your wife is beautiful. Woo! Come say hi. Come say hi.
Going on, everybody, man, and welcome to the very first episode of The Truth, where not all Eagle fans agree on everything, and this is definitely the spot where this shit about to go down.
Oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only the best, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going.
This is why we started this, because of you. We started this. I'm tired of listening to your, fantasy that you living in right now. Always talking about 17 no until proven otherwise. BS!
I'll be number one, working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun.
You know what I mean?
Shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall.
We could have easily won those 3 games.
So I gotta get through it, and the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing.
Right? Did you not think ourselves lose the game? Look, we lost.
Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put
we
it all
lost.
aside, it's my only medicine, yeah. Everything I do, I'm just being genuine, yeah. I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline, yeah. I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the new episode of The Truth. I am your host, BG31, with my co-host, JC Sportstalk in the building. What up, JC? Oh, JC not here. All right, so we're going to introduce... I love messing with him when he's not on camera. We're going to get down with our co-host. Co-host, go ahead and let yourselves introduce yourselves to the people. What you off for?
After you, sir.
Yo, my bad. What's up?
Yeah, so I'm Warren, part of the Eagles Collective, one of the co-hosts to that. We go live, talk ball, talking about the off season. But I'm just ready for this season to start, bro. I'm just ready to just get the ball rolling. That's where I'm at right now.
And I'm Dark Knight, Dante the Dark Knight from Eagles Talk. Eagles Talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. We on a little hiatus. We've been off since the off season. Not something we normally do, but we have a lot of our co-hosts have a lot going on, including myself. And but you know what happens when this time of the year comes around, and the NFL does just a great job of making every part of the off season relevant. So for us, the draft kind of brings it back, gets everything started back up for us. So we're coming on now. We covered the draft. I'm here with BG, an old co-host of mine. We got to get back together, and we're going to talk a little bit about the draft. I know you guys went over it. We'll talk a little bit about it and what is in the news, Eagles news, as of now.
Sounds good. Now, JC, since I introduced you, you weren't here, my brother. Go ahead. How you doing today, my guy?
Look, man, hey, I may not be here when you call, but I'm always on time. All right, so here I go, man. I'm here, as usual, man. This is your boy JC. I'll tell the truth. And BG is a fantasy player, so he live in that world. But we are here to talk about the Eagles, man. Definitely got to get into some things. We'll see, man. Look, it seems like the next couple months is going to be so long, right? But next month, I believe, OTA starts. Maybe the end of this month. So we're gonna have some more stuff to talk about. But right now, we gotta talk about some Bulls. You know what I mean? But hey, Eagle fans, at content creators, man, we love our birds, and there's always something to talk about.
So, Wayne, you start me off here, my guy. your take on the draft. What's your favorite part? And who do you think is going to contribute the most in year one?
Yeah, so just going through the drafts, of course, Jahad Campbell, first round pick, a lot of upside to him. However, the only thing that concerns me is just the injuries. Um, they're talking about he got shoulder surgery back in March, and now they're saying knees, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. Um, Best case scenario, I hope it's kind of like a Cooper DeJean thing, like it was last season. Uh, but honestly, my favorite pick, it has to be that Ty Robinson pick. That Ty Robinson pick, like just putting
But that
another
don't
defensive
run, though.
tackle. Yeah, putting another D tackle in there. Give Jordan Davis something to compete up against, and we might be seeing him take a few reps in this season. So I'm excited about that.
Well, definitely. Hey, look, piggybacking off of that, right? That Ty Johnson, yeah, he definitely gonna get some raps. You know why? Because Jordan Davis can't stay on the field.
Hey,
Exactly.
Get
get
your
on my
ass
boy
on the
JD.
sideline. Come on, Johnson. Because I'm telling you, he's gonna be the maybe the new Milton Williams. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
you got Booker on there, and Moro or Jomo. But don't be surprised if Big Country over there competing for that, backup to Jordan Davis role. You know what I mean? At least a faster package on the field.
Yeah. No, he's definitely a lot more explosive than Jordan Davis. Like I said, we got a lot of defensive tackle just sitting back there, like in the chamber. Like we got Gabe Davis right there, like you said, a Jomo. So we got a lot of competition. They extended Jordan Davis, so there's something that they like about him, but something about Ty Robinson and being that pick that he was shows a little bit more value than what Jordan Davis is doing right now.
I think Warren, your mic's a little is glitching in and out. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I like the. Of course, I'm loving the Jahad pick, the number one pick, man. I think he's a fantastic athlete, man. Up along the lines of I'm not going to get crazy, but we got our Micah Parsons type player.
There you go.
We got that type of player. And the last pick, almost nearly the last pick of the first round. How do we keep doing this? I don't know, but Howie has a streak going on, and I'm with that. I'm riding it. I'm with it. I like the first three picks. I love the first three picks. Jahad and the safety in the second round. I love him. McCoolman, yeah, I like him. He seems like a replacement for CJ with a little more coverage skills than CJ, but same type of player. Ball hawk, a hitter. I like that. Like his energy. I love the D tackle. We seem to get D tackles that produce. We have Milt Williams, and I feel like Jomo is going to take Milt Williams' spot, and it's not going to be a big gap as everybody thinks. Like I know we lost Milt Williams. I love Milt Williams from the day he arrived here. I loved seeing him on the field and what he could do, and I kind of predicted that he would be what he is, and he is a $26 million a year player now. And I think that a Jomo is like in that same type of mold. So I don't think we lose a lot there, and I think that we got a great backup for Jomo in Ty. So I can't wait for this season, and I love the fact that we devoted our first 5 picks to the defensive side of the ball, man. Right. Understanding that we are pretty much stout on the offensive side of the ball. And we lost some key players on defense, and Howie went all defense. And I'm cool with that because I'm trusting in Howie. How can I not trust in him? 3 Super Bowls in 8 years, 2 Super Bowl wins. And even in the boo-boos that he has made over the draft, he has gotten progressively better all the way up until this year. And turning the picks over to him and Vic Fangio, to me, seems like the best thing to do. I trust Vic, too. And I don't think that this defense will have any type a drop off. I know these young guys got to get acclimated or whatever, but in Vic I trust also because he's the guy that whose defense we were trying to duplicate until we got him. You know what I mean? We were picking defensive coordinators to run the Vic Fangio defense, and they did okay. But Vic came in and showed how it's supposed to be done, and I'm trusting to him, man. So I love the Vic. I love the picks.
But real quick, hey, hold up, BG. So the linebacker that we picked up, right? Y'all keep comparing him to Michael Parsons, right? Jahad Campbell, right? He could be better than Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons did not play linebacker like that. Mm-hmm. He was a strictly edge rusher. And that's what Hope Chicago fan was like, why can't we have Micah play linebacker? Blah, blah, blah. That's not what he's good at. Jahad, this dude is a real linebacker that could also rush. You know what I mean? Like, to me, his ceiling could be higher, than Michael Parsons. You could put Dean out there. You could put Bond out there. And then you could put Campbell out there. You could really run a true 3-4 and not be afraid of, not having enough beef to, to get the run or to stop the run, like anything. So Michael Parsons, to me, as good as he is, you cannot drop him up. You can't drop him at linebacker because to me, he's not a linebacker. So Campbell, if he gets healthy, right? Look, the doctor said that he'll be ready for training camp. So to me, it's going to be between Dean and Campbell. Which one of y'all could get healthy faster, right? Because they're both injured right now. We both don't know, but Campbell could be better than Michael Parsons, and we could do some nasty work, nasty things.
Hey, you see how he looked when we picked him up. This was definitely a gift from Howard Roseman to Vic.
Hey, you got your hot cam. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? You knew he'd be there. All right, we're taking Jahad Campbell, guys.
Yeah, that right there, my first time.
I've never seen Vic that happy.
Yes, and that's why I'm excited. He's excited. I'm excited. The architect of the number one defense in the league last year is excited when we pick a player. Then I'm excited. Because he does, he seems to put everybody in the right position, in the best position for them to take advantage of their talent, man. Vic is doing a tremendous job, and if he's happy that we got Jahad, then I'm happy that we got Jahad.
Yeah, he's smiling harder than the Super Bowl win. Like, this dude was smiling harder than the Super Bowl win.
He wasn't smiling that hard at the parade, my God.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at it, I'm like, just imagine the toys he has. Like, just think about how he just sitting there just scheming of what he can do with all these players. And when Dean gets healthy, when Campbell gets healthy, when I don't know, they haven't really gave us anything on not Nolan, but Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith, because apparently Nolan Smith got injured in the Super Bowl as well. So we don't have too much information on that. So just think about what he's thinking about. Like, just conjuring up, like, what can I do once all these players are healthy and what's it going to really look like? That's my only concern. But if I had to choose on defense, cornerback 2 position is the only position that I'm like, okay, what are we going to truly do with that? Because I know we don't want Coop out there. We like him in the slot. But Ringo's got to step up, and they gave Ringo some competition. So I'm just ready to see what that cornerback position is going to look like during spring camp.
Yeah, and like when you guys were talking about the whole Michael Parsons comparison, like I do agree with JC. I think this guy's a stud, man, from Bama, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a stud ass linebacker. He could be better than Bond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he could be better than Bond. And Bond, everybody loves him. We think he's the best linebacker we've had in years. You know what I'm saying? He was working his magic all year long. Every week, everybody was just waiting to see if he's going to fall off. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, Bond who? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought White was starting. You know? I thought White was going to start. Then we trade him off. I'm like, what are you doing? Now you got Bond started. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wait a minute, he's not gonna last. It's gonna be Trotter season this year, baby. It's gonna be Trotters. They just doing it to, bridge the gap between Trotter learning the position, putting Bond out there. But the dude showed out. First team All Pro. I can't even remember the last time we had a first team All Pro linebacker on our football team. But to know that we drafted this guy and he could be possibly, after year one, I think this year they will do. I heard how he talked about him. that they're going to do the whole Cooper DeJean approach. We're not rushing them. We don't have to. You know what I'm saying? We're the champs. We don't got to rush nobody back. We're going to let him chill until he's 100% ready so he doesn't get hurt again like we did Cooper DeJean. And then we're going to let him roll from there. But everybody's saying, man, it's the steal of the draft, man. Let's check this one out.
There's 257 picks. The one that you say was the steal. Steal of the draft, Daniel Jeremiah. I need to know. You say this is the steal. It could be a first rounder. I'll tap dance a little longer for you to think about it. I mean, second night. I'll give it to you. Day 3. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're just, I'm looking at it. Just we said it at the time. I had Jahad Campbell fall into the Philadelphia Eagles in the 32nd pick. He was my 12th player, and it just continues to happen every year. They get a value and somebody that just kind of lands in their lap. And I think not only is he a good player, going to a great defense. Who is the one team that they're going to be battling for the next decade inside that division? It's Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, and he's like a Jaden Daniels type defender. Now, it didn't go great when he saw Jaden Daniels when he was at Alabama and LSU torched him, that year before. But I mean, that's going to be. I'm just fascinated to watch what these divisions are shaping up and what that battle is going to be, and watching one team try and build up players. The Washington goes out and gets offensive linemen because they know they got to block Philly. Mm-hmm. Philly goes out and gets these athletic second-level defenders because they know they're going to have to chase Jaden Daniels around all the time. So that might be the rivalry more than any other in the NFL that I can't wait to watch over the next decade.
Yeah, that's facts.
I agree.
I definitely agree.
Do you think, with that being said, do you feel like this draft that our rivals for sure inside the division, kind of was just make it a copycat league? You know what I'm saying? Like, they looked at every single last one. And I know that all these players were supposed to go in the first round. So I'm not saying that it's only our players because we brought them in. But it seemed like every player that we brought in for a visit, teams wouldn't trade with us at all during the draft, and they made sure they got one of the players off of our list. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. I think that teams are trying to copy us. They're trying to be like us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know if they're trying to be like that. To me, actually, I think it's like old school football, man. I mean, I remember coming up and you went out and you stocked your team to beat the top team. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what you drafted or constructed your team to beat the top team. You wasn't worried about beating the teams you were better than. If Dallas in the 90s was the best team, then you constructed your team to beat Dallas in the 90s. And guess what? We're the best team now. So people have to construct their team to beat us, especially our division rivals. So Washington, like he said in the video, Washington goes out and get an offensive lineman because he knows that he has to block this Eagles defensive line, this Eagles pass rush. And we just improved by getting a Jahad Campbell, who's going to be chasing Jaden Daniels all around. We need athletic linebackers to deal with a Jaden Daniels for the next decade. And now we have it. And by the way, every time we have superior linebacker play, we win the Super Bowl.
Facts.
Or go to the Super Bowl. Facts. We had superior linebacker play when we won in 2017. We had superior linebacker play in 22. And then last year we had, you know what I mean? So every time, and Howie's finally figured out that it's not a position that we can go light on. We have to give serious consideration to our linebacker core, and he has done that. And I think now we have one of the best linebacker cores out there. Hopefully Dean could come back, man, because I feel bad for him, because I feel like this was a pick because of Dean, because of his injury and being injury prone. Mm-hmm. So I hope Dean could come back healthy, but I think that Jahad was a pick to replace Dean, because Dean seems to be injury prone. Now, if he can stay healthy, oh my God, look what we got. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You think it's too many then if he is healthy? Because let's talk about it. A healthy Dean and the upside of a guy like, because even Dean, third round pick, you know what I'm saying? He was the best linebacker in football that year. He got drafted late injury. But this guy,
he won the best linebacker award,
but he still got drafted in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like, the talent, overall talent. Do you think both healthy, Dean still, like, if Dean was healthy, a week or two before Jahad, do you think Dean is good enough to keep the position over a guy like Jahad?
That's tough. That's a tough one. I feel like they trying to fill in that Owen Burks position right now, and with Zach Bond just taking the lead that he did in the postseason, I think they're willing to keep that going until Dean is ready, because ultimately Dean is the leader of that defense, like of that O line. Like he started off with the green dot, so I think that'll just be a tough conversation. Once he does get healthy, now you got to pick who do you truly want out there. Like you got Bond, you got Campbell, you got Dean, and you can't sleep on Trotter either. So you got some linebackers to choose from. I would like to see them put them in rotation.
Hey Warren, do you think you can unplug your mic and plug it back in, my guy? I think doing that again with that.
It's going in and out.
You spitting some fire, so I want to make sure everybody can hear it clearly.
Let me see.
Usually that's what it is with the headsets, especially the headsets, man. The mirror bugs. That's why I stopped using them. But
is that better?
I don't know, man. I think healthy or not, unless you're planning for the future, it'll be like Dean. Like this year, they can probably start out, like I said, doing like Cooper DeJean, keeping them behind. Dean gets healthy. Dean starts with Bond, right? But by mid-season, there can be so many packages. If he goes in and makes the plays, that's why they had a thing like, how many tackles you think you're going to have this year? And I put 53 tackles this year because I don't think he's going to start out the season. I think, they like Dean, and if he's healthy enough, they're going to start out, giving him all the opportunity to keep that job as possible, and then, like you said, he can be the Oren Burks. You realize how many years is Bond on the team for? 3? He's had him a 3-year deal, 2 or 3-year deal, right?
Yeah,
so
3 years.
Dean's still young technically, and you got a guy that could do exactly what Bond can do, but maybe do it at a higher level. So then you can still have your Dean Bond connection, but it'll be a Dean Campbell connection moving forward in the future. If not, then I think it was a move to just get rid of Dean.
I mean, look, real quick, before Dark Knight go, how serious was this Dean injury, bro? Like this dude talking about his kneecap on his in his thigh. How secured or how healed do we think he's gonna be? So to me, if I'm Trouter, the X-Man's son, right? I'm like, Campbell is injured, Dean is injured. This is my job. Why can I be, the other linebacker next to Bond? So if I'm Trouter right now, I'm licking my chops. I'm like, hey, look, this is my job to lose because they're both injured, man. So yes, Campbell is injured, but everything's saying that, hey, he'll be ready for, training camp. And plus it was a little, shoulder, whatever it was. But Dean, that's a serious injury. His kneecap was in his thigh. And we think he's just going to pick up where he left off at on his last year on the team, possibly. The pressure's on him.
Yeah, I agree, man. You that's a great point. That injury was not anything that was minor. You know what I mean? I mean, this dude can go in his pocket for his wallet and poke out his kneecap. So that's not good, right? That's not good. So, but Vic is the type of dude. If Jihad comes in here and performs well in training camp, Jihad is going to play. Yeah. We've seen that. Vic he plays the best player. He don't care how old you are, how much experience. He has enough experience to be able to recognize who's ready to play and who's not. Come on, we just saw him start a rookie cornerback opposite Slay. Yeah, and don't get it twisted. It was going to be 2 rookie quarterbacks if DeJean was healthy at the beginning of the season. He would have started 2 cornerbacks, rookies, had they been healthy, right? So he has no problem with playing the best talent. And if Jihad comes in here and puts on the show, and we saw how happy he is, but if he comes in there in training camp and show improves, he could be starting.
Yes. I agree, man. I'm telling you. The other linebacker position is up for grabs. Zach Bond position is secured. Because that good night, Dark Knight. But the other position, that's up for grabs, man. Like, it's up for grabs. We don't know. So that's one of the positions that I will be looking out for, upon safety and cornerback. But that linebacker, too, depend what we actually want to run. Maybe 3 linebackers. I don't know. But that's the other position that I'm like, I can't wait to see who goes out there and take the job.
Like either way, I feel like they're both going to play. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Vic runs so many different schemes, so many different fronts. That is the key to Vic Fangio's defense. There is no scheme really. It's a week-to-week basis where he calls the best defense he can to defeat the other team. You know, it's a week-to-week basis, and I think that's where his proteges come up short. Is they're not really good at that week-to-week thing. They want to have their scheme, their simulation of his defense, and they want to run it all game long. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, no, I don't do that. I'm an old school football player. Whatever I need to do, if I need to run a 4-3 this week, I'm gonna run a 4-3. If I need to run a 5-2, I run a 5-2. If I need to run a 3-4, you know, I'm gonna run a 3-4. And I think he comes up with so many different schemes that you can even see a one where you see Nolan Smith on one side, Jahad Campbell on one side, Witt, Dean, and Bond at middle linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Getting after the quarterback. That's another thing people aren't talking about. Because we still need to really – I know we got, Nolan, and I know we got Jalix Hunt that's supposed to come up and ball out this year, hopefully, what we expected. But no one even thought that he could even be – because he is a middle linebacker first, but until you get that middle linebacker start, you can be the other outside linebacker rushing with Nolan Smith.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, what about this secondary? Who's going to be opposite Mitchell? Who's going to be opposite Guantanamo Bay? Who's going to be that starting cornerback opposite Guantanamo Bay?
I think Ringo. Can y'all hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think Ringo's gonna have to compete. I think
everybody wants Ringo, and I want Ringo too because we've had him on our team for a couple of years now, and we're like, come on, Ringo, let's go. Okay, you show flashes. You're a big, physical, athletic cornerback. That's what you want at your cornerback position. He's prototype cornerback. He just haven't put it together to start. And yes, he had Darius Slay ahead of him. Yes, Rogers last year was ahead of him. But now they're both gone. It's your year to shine. But then don't hate me for my Trojan bias. But I love me some Adoree Jackson. I know he's a little older. He's a veteran, you know what I'm saying? He's been in the league for a while. He's very fast. He's a very good zone cornerback, because his speed, he can use that speed to make up pretty much anything out there. So I think that's going to be a really tight battle between those two to see who starts that position.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Ringo, though. I think that had Ringo not been on this team, he might have been starting for another team. The only reason Ringo was where he was is because we had a Darius Slay in front of him and an Isaiah Rodgers. Our secondary room was deep, and that was surprising because look, 3-4 years ago, that was the weakest aspect of our defense was the secondary, and here we go 3-4 years later, and it's the deepest position we had. But it was hard to get clock in the secondary on this defense last year. We had the two rookies that were outstanding. Darius Slay still playing at a high level. Isaiah Rodgers pushing. I thought he might have even won the starting position, but pushing Darius Slay. And then you got Ringo. If Ringo was on another team, Ringo would have been starting. So I'm comfortable with Ringo. I'm looking for him to step up, and I expect him to step up into that position. But again, I put all my trust in Vic and whoever he decides to run out on that field. I know that I have this type of confidence. Whoever starts on this team, I know that they earned it, and I know they're the best person for the job because I know Vic is an excellent defensive coordinator.
And it's starting to even bring up Eli Ricks again.
No.
Yeah, Eli Ricks is still there.
Mm-hmm. What you got to think?
Hey, Warren. Hey, let Warren talk real quick, man. Like, I want to hear his final thought.
No. I was going to say, like, the Eli Ricks, like, that was a solid pick 2-3 years ago. But right now, I think Ringo, it's his time to shine. I think a lot of the reasons why we have the doubt is just because Isaiah Rodgers was in front of him, and we didn't see him make that substitution in there. But if A.J. Brown gives him that stamp of approval, like, that way is heavy. Because I know A.J. Brown's giving the stamp of approval on Ringo. But that's kind of where I'm at on the cornerbacks, just because Quinyon is going to be moving to Slay's spot. That's usually where your best wide receivers are. So now we got to see how Quinyon does on these top wide receivers as well. So that's another thing we got to look at in the secondary. So how's Quinyon really going to play up against him? Going up against a CD Lamb every time. Going up against the Malik Neighbors every time. So like we got to look at that too. So I'm thinking about all those things. It's just the cornerback position is just my biggest. I think that's just my biggest concern going into the defense. But what I will say about Vic and what I like about Vic is a little bit of what y'all touched on. It doesn't matter how much you get paid, when you got drafted, how long you've been in the league, you're going to earn that starting position. So that's where my confidence is in that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I completely agree. But look, y'all sleeping on Mac Williams, man. So Vic Fangio like these no names, these small schools, these underdog mentality. Mac Williams, 5'10", 191. You know what I mean? Yo, don't be surprised if he gets on in the mix, because Rango, look, he has to win this competition. He has to. This is his last year, right? There's no fifth-year option. He's done after this year. So, I mean, he has to win. But don't be surprised, if you hear a Mac Williams name be thrown in the fire. Like, I see him as almost a Creon Mitchell, right? Like, he gonna want to go against AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. If those dudes like, hey, that's the guy, because Rango had his opportunity last year, and I never heard Rango is that guy. But we did hear
AJ Brown did. AJ Brown did say Rango.
Mitchell though. I heard Mitchell though. Like AJ.
That was 2023 when you mentioned Ringo. That was the 23 year.
Yeah, it sure wasn't last year. It was Mitchell was the guy in camp last year. So we kind of knew that Mitchell was going to be the starter. But if Mac Williams, he step in and go ahead and get the job, hey, don't be surprised if Rango is again a backup or Dory Jackson. Look, I think he might win it over Rango, but who knows? Whatever Vic do, I'm all on board. And Vic, I trust. Okay, he has earned respect. I told you when we brought him back, BG, you were a little concerned. I told you we was getting some sous chefs. We got the chef himself, the man that made all the recipes, all the season, the peppers, and the cayenne pepper, all that. We got the man himself. Like all this, Jonathan Gannon and all these little sous chefs. No. This is the master behind the plan. He's the one that created his own defense. And I knew that this defense was going to be better. And now he proved me right. So whatever he does, if Mac Williams is the guy at 5'10", 190, if he sees that he's the guy, he's the guy. I mean, the only thing about Mac Williams is his he's not afraid to go up and hit somebody. He'll knock you out, but he can get beat too. So we gotta teach him, hey, if back pedal faster, turn faster, hit, or if you're gonna get safety help. But besides
we
that,
got the DB coach for that though.
Yeah.
Nah,
you ain't gotta worry about Mac. Mac will be around. He ain't gonna be starting. He ain't gonna be starting. It's gonna be Ringo. It's gonna be Ringo. Ringo gonna be starting. Don't worry about no Mac Williams.
Okay. Wait. Okay, so are you sure? Are you willing to put your money on Rango starting? Hey, look, around here we keep it real, we keep it honest, and we keep it gambling. Hey, let me show you all my jerseys I want from Birdgang. Like, look, I can't look all these jerseys because Birdgang over here telling lies.
This is what.
All right, I would do this. I would bet that Ringo starts over Mac Williams, but I'm not ready to take Adoree Jackson out of the mix. All right, I think he has a better chance, but I don't think Mac. I'm definitely willing to bet that Ringo starts over Mac.
Yeah, it sounds like Adoree Jackson is more that safety net, just in case. That's what it sounds like. But you got to also think about it. The safeties that we have. One thing that they were talking about during this whole draft was versatile. So one thing about the safeties that we got a versatile safety with Makuba. So one thing that's good about him is if he needs to step in a little bit, he can move up front if needed. So if a corner is struggling,
Cut off again, but it's doing it again.
it's acting up again.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's not like we can hear you loud and clear. It's this other sound that's coming.
It's like in the background. It's like a background noise.
Weird.
It's like the mic or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
But if you unplug the mic and just go off the
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes.
This is better? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Nope. He's back.
We heard it.
Now it's echoing.
It's echoing now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me try something. I'm gonna try a magic trick on.
All right, so like that's how Mac Williams is going to be, like his microphone. He's not starting. He's going to be Mac is going to be like my man's microphone. He's not starting. All right, but he's going to be around. Now I'm not. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be on the team, and he may push next year. He got time. You know what I'm saying? We talk about this. That would be incredible, though. And then I'm with you on that. I'm the one that believes, not believes, but I've seen
Williams.
And Vic, you know what I mean? Vic will play a person if he performs well in training camp. So I don't, if he does do it, he will start. But what round was he? 4th round? That would be incredible if a 4th round pick came through and won the starting cornerback spot on this team.
45 in the 5th round.
Oh, in the 5th. Well, that would be even more incredible that a 5th round pick would come and start on this team with this secondary.
What?
The secondary is not top.
What? A 3rd round? Oh shit! Hey, my bad. Hey, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that it would be a long shot for that to happen, but I wouldn't put it past them, like next year or something like that, because these guys. One thing I do love about Vic, not only Vic, right, and I don't think that we give enough credit to these people, but it's the coaching staff, right? We talking about bringing in the defensive coordinator, but his assistant coaches are excellent because it's about player development. These players come up here and they're not all pros yet. They're not even pro football players yet. They still have a lot to learn, and it's that those assistant coaches' job to develop them into professional players. And this staff has done an excellent job in working with this talent and getting them ready to perform on a high level, on a number 1 defensive level, on a record setting Super Bowl defense level. I mean, what we did to the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl was nothing short of amazing. It wasn't. I mean, they were talking about this team possibly being a historic team, which I knew that was crazy before the game even started. You can look and see that our talent was way better than their talent. But they were talking about possibly reaching historic levels, and it was 34-0. 34-0.
40-6.
You know what I'm saying? 40-6. Are you kidding me? Andy Reid was on the side scratching his head. He didn't know what to do. What do you do? What do you do when we're getting pressure with only 4 men? We're dropping 7 back in coverage, and you got to use max protect. You only got like 3 or 4 players in a route.
Yeah,
you can't beat that.
Yeah.
So this team and this coaching staff, this assistant coaching staff, has done a tremendous job in developing these players, man, because they don't come in this league Pro Bowlers. They don't come in this league ready to perform at a high level. It's up to those guys to help develop them, and they did a great job, man. They did a great job.
And I wanted to touch on that too, the coaching thing too. But before we get there, let's keep it going with the 3rd position, the safety position. I'm big on Sidney Brown. I think last year was Sidney's heel year. We had CJ, so he wasn't going to start there. Blankenship played good, but he was coming off that major injury. I feel like it took the whole year for him to recover, really. Like, they didn't want to rush him back. Letting them come now with CJ leaving is like, now it's your job to lose. You know what I'm saying? It's Sidney Brown's job to lose, but we did sign Makumba. That name
Makuba. Put some respect in the man's name, man.
Makuba. In the 2nd round. So how do you guys think that battle's gonna pan out this year?
Man, Hopefully my mic's working this time, but
Yeah.
Crash Out Sydney's not that guy.
What?
Crash Out Sid's not that guy. I feel like well, think about it like this. If they wanted to keep him, why'd you pick up a safety in the second round? If they felt that much upside about him, and remember that 2024 season, they were putting McCullum out there rather than putting Sidney Brown.
Well,
so there's something
healing. You know that.
But like at the very end, like that Cowboys game, around that Cowboys game when we played them at home in the Kelly Green, he could have started. He didn't start. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. It's like he's good for his special teams, but I just think Sidney Brown there's something about him. There's something about him that Vic doesn't like. And that's why he said pick up a safety second round. So that's kind of where I'm at on Sidney.
I kind of agree with that. I don't think the game has slowed down for Sidney Brown. Let's look at the pros and cons, right? Why do we love Sidney Brown? Because he hits hard, right? He reminds you a little bit of B-Dog, right? Because he's aggressive. He comes in, he lays the wood. But there's in this defense and Vic Fangio's defense, you got to do more than that, right? You definitely have to be able to cover, right? You have to be a smart safety. I don't know if the game has slowed down. The Sidney Brown still is playing at 150 miles an hour. And you know, you got to slow down. You know, the game should slow down for you. He's still coming full steam ahead. And if you don't slow down this game, that's when you get burnt. You know what I'm saying? And he's still not there yet. He's not quite there to me. And to your point, I agree with you. If you had confidence in Sidney Brown, you're not picking a safety with the second round pick. That's a really high pick to pick a safety. And when you pick someone that high, you expect that person to get some clock. They're almost starters. They're almost, you know what I mean? They're almost seen as coming in and starting at second round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think our safety is on the roster yet.
I
think that Justin Simmons, man, I'm telling you, there's like everything in my bone is telling me he's going to be a Philadelphia Eagle somewhere, somehow. Because yes, it's cute to have Makuba and Sidney Brown and Reed, but we need a veteran back there, at least in the secondary, someone that's used to doing the job. That's a true safety. Justin Simmons, his stats don't lie. This is a true cover safety. He don't get beat deep, right? I mean, and that was my biggest issue last year when we went out and got GJ, right, BG? I was like, he's not a true safety like that. He's more of a box safety. And we got arms over Baghdad 6-7 times. And he even came out and said it, my bad. I got to play better because he was getting beat like everybody's business. But Justin Simmons, to me, if you're going to go out and sign, if you are about let's repeat again, go get Justin Simmons, and now your secondary is fixed. Like there's no holes in there. Your linebackers is good. Even if your other corner, you're not sure about your other corner, you got Justin Simmons back there to help him out, right? Now, I mean, Telly's, just got for 1 year. For 1 year, I'm not talking about, hey, just sign him for a 3-4 year deal. Just one season. Just go out and get him $10, $11 million for 1 year. He know the Vic Fangio system. You heard him talk in on that morning show with Kate and them, whatever her name is. Like he is like hoping that the Eagles could bring him in. So why not? I mean, that is a move that you want to repeat. Just go get him. And he will fit right in the Vic Fangio system. And now our safety position, hey, Makuba, he could sit, you know what I mean? Hey, just, learn from Simmons, read Blankenship. Hey, you know what I mean? Like, I've been in the system before, but now we are underestimating. This defense is going the second year under Vic Fangio. So Vic is about to throw even more schemes out there, you know what I mean? Just more blitzes out there. And what a perfect guy to already been in the Vic Fangio system than Justin Simmons.
So
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, don't you think Reed Blankenship is kind of filling in that Justin Simmons role? Just
Mm-hmm.
He's
because
not a true cover safety though.
Mhm.
Yo, he's more of a big hitter, and you know what I mean. All his interceptions is what running up. It's never going back, right? I mean, he's more of a hey, let me back up 20, 30 yards back, and then hey, I see the ball, go get ball. Like you want a safety that, like, okay, let me go get the ball going backwards. Like Reed Blankenship, all his interceptions is always shoo, shoo, diving, and I'm him running up. We need a true cover safety, and is not on the roster. Sidney Brown is, a hard hitter downhill. Reed Blankenship, hard hitter downhill, always hurt, injured. You know what I mean? Like his shoulder injury, he's always getting hurt because they are physical players. You need a finesse, a finesse player back there to control the backfield. So that's just my 2 cents.
I feel like it's a little bit of both. Like I feel like Howie's scoring young. He's trying to get younger, stay young. For one, I do feel like that Justin Simmons is a little bit older, and I'm not saying he can come in and fill the spot, right? But I feel like the things you're saying about CJ GJ, right? We won a Super Bowl with the guy. Every time he was on our team with that type of mentality, that type of energy of coming up, hitting people, smacking people, we won a Super Bowl with that at safety. So that gives me more confidence that a guy like Sidney Brown can do the job. You know what I'm saying? Sidney's been in the same defense, for 2 years now too. Vic Fangio defense, and he's been in the project defense for a year or two too. So I feel like he is that guy that can come in. He's still young. He's gonna go hit somebody. He's gonna go get some interceptions. Yes, he might get a couple of bombs over bad dad from time to time. But if it's not consistently, it won't hurt the defense. You got to realize with the secondary, I feel like it really is a plug and play type of situation. When you got the defensive line getting the pressure that they get on this football team, when you got the linebackers that we have now on this football team that can cover the middle of the field right there, the short field, the middle of the field, then you really, as a safety on our football team, you really don't have to do much. That's why Reed looks so good. That's why CJ looks so good. Because guess what? All the pressure's getting to the quarterback real fast with our defensive line. The linebackers are covering now. Before, when we didn't have linebackers covering, that's when there was a lot of problems, a lot of passes in the middle of the football field. But now that we got the linebackers to do it, you ain't got to worry about that no more. So as a safety, yes, all you doing is lining up, backing up. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, safety blitz, coming in, hitting somebody. That's all you really expected to do on this defense. That's why I think a guy like Sidney Brown with the energy, you see CJ GJ make some hits this year. And we didn't even see that the last time he was here. He stepped in holes, put his body on the line plenty of times this year, making some big hits. And I think that's the same thing we can see from a Sidney Brown coming in with all that energy and all that young spirit.
Man, James Brown, Charlie Brown, Doodoo Brown, Sidney Brown ain't starting.
Yeah, I think, and we can't forget about the Lewis Sign, who was with Georgia.
Yeah.
We can't sleep on him either. We don't. Is he what you were talking about? Like go up the top? But you got to think about it. I get what you're saying with the safety. We were number 2 in pass defense. So like, I see where you're coming from with that. But if we're number 2 in pass defense, if it's not broke, don't fix it type deal. So like, I just feel like Justin Simmons I feel like he's older, and I feel like we'll get a Kevin Byard with him.
What? No, he came in mid-season though. Kevin.
You say Kevin Byard?
No, he's
that's horrible.
No, he came mid-season.
Byard was a mid-season. Yeah.
So it's hard. And then we had who's the different? Sean Desai
was trash.
And Matt Patricia, like midway through.
Yeah, we had Sidney Brown. It was Sidney Brown and Blankenship.
Yo, this dude was an all-pro. Kevin Byard was an all-pro with the Titans. So do not disrespect him. No, but still, right? No, I feel like we do not have the safety that we need on this team, but that's just my opinion. But we will see what happens, man.
You said
off season.
Justin. Who you guys saying you guys think gonna start?
I think Makuba's gonna start.
Makuba.
Okay.
I think Sidney. Who you got, Dark Knight?
If I had to pick one on the roster, I would go with Makuba too.
You think it'll be someone off the roster?
I said if I had to go with somebody currently on the roster, I would go with Makuba.
But who do you want in general? Like even if it's someone off the roster.
If it's off the roster, I'll take Justin Simmons.
Okay.
Because he's familiar with the deep, and
Yeah.
he's a coverage guy. Like
Yes.
that's something that this team really values are versatile players, right? He can cover. He can cover also. The more you can do, the more valuable you are on this Eagles defense. They've been going that way for, I guess, the past 7 years, actually. They value people that can be versatile, can do a multitude of things, not just one, not just a person that can play in a box, but a person that can come down and play downhill and cover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They value that. They value versatility.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. I wasn't thinking about that, to be 100% honest with y'all. I always just have that question because he played for the Falcons last year, right?
Yeah.
And my question is, why didn't they re-sign him? Like, what was it that he was not doing to where they did not want to re-sign him? To maybe a 1, 2, 3 year deal? Like, why they just let him go after 1 year? That's my only concern.
It's like every team, man, right? He's on, the other side of 30, right? But at the same time, hey, the Falcons are a young team also, right? I mean, it just, come in for 1 year. How far can we go with you? Okay, we're not ready. Hey, let's go a different direction. The Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. We let go of Chauncey Gardner, even though BG was like, hey, every time we have him on our roster, we go to Super Bowl. But we have a better front seven every time he's on the roster. Like, we didn't have a good front seven. The year we went, we started 10-1 and then spiral. No, we did not. Like you saw these linebackers running like their head cut off. Sean Desire, Matt Patricia was our DC. So every time he's on the roster, we have a dominant front seven. So, are we overplaying the whole Chauncey Gardner thing? I don't know. He went to the Lions. They made it to a championship. I don't know. But what I could see, he's not a cover safety. He's just a shit talker, motivator, but he does lock in when it's time to lock in. So I definitely like that about him. And I think that Justin Simmons will fit that role perfectly. But if we don't get a Justin Simmons, Makuba, watching his tape, he played like Chauncey Gardner.
Yes.
Come downhill, but he could cover, a little bit better than Chauncey. But that's college. NFL is different. The schemes is different. But he remind me of a younger Chauncey Gardner.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I totally agree with that. I think Chauncey was one of those unique players where his intangibles were more valuable to the team than his actual talent, right? Are there more talented safeties out there? Yeah, but for what he brought to the team, his energy, his trash talking, all of that was worth more than his skill set. He wasn't the best cover safety out there, but he brought that energy, man, that you can't measure. That heart and that energy that really he infused that defense. And that's what I'm gonna miss about him. And I hope that we have like a player that can duplicate that type of energy. You need those things. You need those things
Nolan
on the defense. Nolan, I like Nolan.
But I think Carter.
I like D too. And Carter, yeah.
He ain't taking no shit from nobody.
All the young bucks, Q,
DeGene,
all them bucks. They we let Chauncey go. We didn't have those young bucks on our team, and then a couple of them were young. The JD was young. He's a rookie. Jordan Davis was young. Like and Kobe Dean were young. But now these Georgia Bulldogs got their boys around them. Now they all confident. Like we don't need that attitude no more because everybody on our defense got that attitude now.
That's true.
The year we lost the Super Bowl, none of those cats had it like that. They're too flashy. James Bradbury, Slade. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the go get it. They want to be buddy with
everybody.
Professional.
We got professional. Hey, that wasn't hood enough.
Nope. Right? Yeah, we got some hood dude. Jalen Carter, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm about to say the N word, but he's definitely
a ninja. He's definitely that ninja. You know what I mean?
Show.
No, that's a good point. And I think they probably wanted Chauncey just so he could spark that in Q.
Yes. The young
JC,
guy.
Nolan, get that out of him. Even though BG does it a little bit, but BG has his own style of doing it.
Yeah,
but,
he got that soft trash talking.
Yeah.
Here we go with your ass. You know he coming, right? You know he coming. Like,
exactly.
Come on, man. What that scared at?
My favorite is she don't want a puppy, she want a big dog.
Yeah. He's laughing with it, right? Yo, we need one that's not laughing like Jenny Carter. You know what? Hey, we about to come after you and ain't gonna be this is going to get a smoke all day.
Mm-hmm. I think that's Nolan. I think Nolan's going to show a lot of that this year.
Oh yeah,
because I think with BG leaving, he's kind of filling in that role, like big brother, little brother role. So I definitely want to see
great
that.
last year for sure.
Exactly. Yeah,
I think
I like
that guy. He's an old another cat too. Hopefully, this is not the beginning. No, I don't want to say it, but the injury bug with him because like the way he hit Lyman, you know what I'm saying? Like Nolan Smith was putting it in on all the top linemen in the league last year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The linemen were saying they did not like going against Nolan Smith because he come pop you in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? He'd come pop guys, 50 pounds heavy, just popping them in the mouth, put them on their backs. And I think he's only going to get bigger, faster, stronger. And he's more confident now that he got that season behind him. He's like, oh, I can do this now. I was just wrecking shop for the whole second half of the season. So now if I go in there and put a little bit more work in, I can do this all season long. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's going to come out and definitely keep doing what he's doing. So I think that was definitely a plus, a big confidence booster for Nolan Smith, man, for sure. But now we got the stars out of the way. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Dark Knight had something to say before we move on.
Oh, no, you can ready to transition. I was going to just bring up my biggest concern for this upcoming season, and I don't know if, and you guys are probably not going to agree with me, but my biggest concern in this upcoming season is our offense.
What?
Yes.
Okay. No,
I think I know where you're coming from.
It's because we're changing offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
And just as we did in the year where we sucked,
we
don't know about this guy.
Brian Johnson.
He hasn't been an offensive coordinator before.
Yeah.
And we've seen, and I talked about this that year where we collapsed. I said, we don't know what this guy, Brian Johnson, is going to do. We know we got the talent, right? But we also know that the play caller is the most important job on this offense. Because you can have an offense of players, the talent, right? And depending on who's calling the plays, this offense can look like, because we saw it. We saw when Nick Sirianni called the plays, and it sucked. And then we saw a simple change to Steichen, and it looked great. Yeah. Same personnel, two different play callers. Yeah. We saw Steichen offense look great, and Brian Johnson, same unit, and it sucked. You know what I'm saying? So we have the talent. I don't have any concerns about the talent. We have the talent. We might even be a little bit better.
Why?
We have the talent. But I don't know what this guy can do. I don't know. I didn't see Jalen was one. Jalen didn't smile like Vic Fangio at the draft when they announced him. Now I wanted to see that. I wanted to see Jalen be as happy as Vic Fangio was at the draft. That didn't happen. The last time he wasn't overexcited about the offensive coordinator, he had a bad year and we had a bad offense.
The only difference, I understand your concern, but you know why I don't even trip off that at all? We got Saquon, my guy. He just made it that much easier for this transition. Last time that happened, right? When we had Steichen, right? The offense looked good. We came back with Brad Johnson. We were still a pass-happy offense. You know what I'm saying? So he had to come up with passing schemes and passing concepts and passing things that work for Jalen Hurts. We're not there no more, my guy. If you didn't, last year showed that we're running that rock with Saquon Barkley. Our owner just said we're about to reinvent the fullback position. Okay? We're about to reinvent that. I mean, we're still coming back. People think that we're about to go back. Now we won a Super Bowl and get back to this pass and Jalen Hurts go. Jalen's never throwing for 4,500 yards ever. 4,000 maybe, not even. As long as Saquon's on this team, we feeding Saquon the rock.
But
And
no, that doesn't work like that, BG. This is a chess game.
Go ahead, Dark.
Are you kidding me? You saw what the Kansas City Chiefs did?
Yep.
They didn't do nothing.
They shut down Saquon.
BG, mute yourself. I want to hear somebody else talk, BG. Mute yourself. Go ahead, Dark.
They came and they concentrated on stopping Saquon Barkley, and they were successful. We just so happen to have a great passing attack also. And that's where we won the game, through the air. Now, don't get me wrong, Saquon played a big part in that, because in some of them big plays, he was the decoy. He was the one that, the play action to Devontae Smith was all Saquon. That linebacker bit and that safety hesitated, and that's what did it. So don't get me wrong, he does play a part. But teams are going to come after Saquon. They're going to focus. They're going to duplicate what Kansas City did and try to improve on that. Kansas City had the right idea. We're going to shut down Saquon. If they're going to beat us, they're going to beat us through the air. They just didn't have an answer for our air attack. So I don't know if Saquon is going to have a great of year as he had last year, because there's going to be so much attention. Plus, trends say after a person rushes for 2,000 yards, he usually has a slight drop off the next year. That was a lot of carries for Saquon. So, I mean, if anybody can have a spectacular year, I think it is Saquon running behind our offensive line. But I won't be surprised if it's a tougher go at it for him this year.
Listen, I get what you said. We had how many games in the regular season? 17 games, my guy. Everybody tried to stop Saquon.
No.
Wait, let me finish what I got to say. Everybody tried to stop Saquon. We went against the number 1 rush defense. We're against the number 2 rush defense. We're against the number 3 rush defense. Everybody tried to stop it. The thing is this. In the playoffs, the first 2 games of the playoffs, what did we do? Run the football. So, yes, we built it up. So when the Super Bowl came, it's like, oh, my God, you got to stop them. But the whole time we knew like Jalen said, when we need to pass, we can pass. We knew we could pass anytime we want to. Any team, the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Oh, my God, they're going to come with the number 1 defense. They're going to stop Saquon. We didn't really run them that game either. We just throwing bombs over the head because they were too worried about it. As long as Saquon's on his football team, my guy, you can talk all the talk you want. They're going to build up. Kansas City really didn't do nothing. The Eagles knew that they were going to stop Saquon because what he did in the playoffs. Come on, the guy had like 2 70-yard touchdowns against the Rams. He ran all over Washington. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was running on everybody. So, of course, when you get to the big stage, what is the most time you're going to put on, in terms of a defensive coordinator? They're going to try, okay, these guys are going to have to stop Saquon because we proved that we did not have to throw the ball to get to this point. So they will go try to stop Saquon just like before the Pittsburgh game. And that's when they set up a game plan to pass the football. It's chess. We got all pros on the receivers.
I hear you.
All pros as a running back.
I'll let you talk.
I
hear you, that bullshit.
Hey, don't cut me off.
Look,
let me
the
finish
best person to
let me
listen
finish
to.
what I'm saying.
No, shit, you done. Hey, you are done. You are done. See, that's the point of being a co-host. You can mute his ass. Look, the problem is this. AJ Brown told you we have to change the offense a little bit. You cannot go into next season, here's Saquon, run away. No, defensive coordinators get paid too. Why do we always think that, hey, a quarterback is going to have a drop-off the second year, like the sophomore slump? You know why? Defense coordinators study tape, and it was like, hey, he beat us in this. We didn't see this coming last year. We about to go in this year. You know what I mean? So now this year, everybody is going to load the box trying to stop Saquon because they saw the Chiefs do it. Now it's going to be up to Jalen Hurts. How good is this passing game now? Okay, like what kind of routes are there? Like what kind of plays is going to be called? It's not going to be on Saquon. I see Saquon between 12 to 1,500 yards. Definitely not 2,000 because teams are going to game plan to stop Saquon.
Game plan all you want.
The person inside the locker room told you. We had to change.
Here's what AJ says. He's not the offensive coordinator. He no
Nah.
offensive coordinator. He only wants the ball more because he's a receiver. He's like, we got to change it up because I didn't get my yards that I want to get. That's why he's saying he got to change it up. He's a receiver. Of course, that's what's going to come out of his mouth. We had the #1 offensive line in football for years. For years, we're like, why are you throwing the ball so much when you got a run, a run-heavy offensive line? Our offensive line is built to run the football. We kept making a mistake over and over again by passing the ball when we had a run-blocking offensive line. Not saying that they can't pass block, but Saquon going to have 1,500 yards this year. Again. It's going to happen again because as long as you got a generational back behind a generational line, we only changing one lineman. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Stoutland's going to definitely have the right guy there, to go in there and fill in that position with all the little toys he got to play with this offseason. It's going to happen again. Like, y'all getting caught up with wins football games. You look at all the top playoff teams. What did they do first? They ran the football. They weren't all these pass happy.
Nobody's saying they're going to go pass happy. All we're saying is that the offense is going to tweak a little bit from a 75% run heavy to more of a 60% run heavy. But the 40%, you're going to, like, what kind of plays are you going to call for this, the other 40% to be open? That's what we're talking about. You are just stuck on, and we're going to keep the same offense, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's saying that.
I'm not saying 100% the same. I'm just saying, in general, the same principle is going to be, we're going to run the ball with Saquon. He's going to do his damn thing. Team's going to try to stop that. Then we're going to throw the ball to AJ. It's like, the difference is, like, those seasons before, we didn't have Saquon. That was the #1 thing I'm saying. Saquon is a huge difference from a Miles Sanders. Saquon is a huge difference from what was the other running back we had that's over there in Chicago? Swift. That's a different. This is a whole nother breed. And now we even added Dylan. We added Dylan to the squad, and then you still got little Shipley. The running game still gonna be the focal point of our offense, guys.
And I like that. I like that approach. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go because you've been waiting.
No, you good. You good. No, I've been listening. I definitely see where you're coming from with Kevin Patullo. One thing I will add with Kevin Patullo, he was here when Jalen first started. He was here when we had Shane Steichen. He was here when we got Brian Johnson. And he was here with Kellen Moore. Remember, usually the OCs don't call any running plays. That's Stoutland. So that was Stoutland that helped get us to the Super Bowl. I don't know why the hell Kellen Moore got a head coach position because we weren't passing. So that's where I'm at with that. But I will say that now that Saquon is looked at as the vocal piece on the offensive side, is going to be more focused to stop him. And I think that opens up options for Dallas Goedert, Devontae, AJ, even Johnny Wilson. I even throw him in there. But, I honestly think this is going to be Jalen's highest passing yard season because due to the threat that Barkley can be, I think it's going to be his highest passing season. But also, we have to wait to find out about this tush push deal because if this gets banned, that's going to change a lot. So I think we're going to pass even more if we ban the tush push. But I like Kevin Patullo. I think we all got flashbacks to that 2023 season with Brian Johnson. But you got to remember, Nick Sirianni was changing the plays on Brian Johnson. He was telling him to change up the plays. I don't think Kevin Patullo is going to do that with him this time.
Well, we better hope not. But to BG's point, and I'm with that, BG. I would love to see a duplicate of last year. That would be definitely a throwback to old school football. We saw we're running game, and I think that this year was the year of the running back. Actually, this past year was the year of the running back. The running back had resurgence last year, right? Derrick Henry, Barkley, some others, they had outstanding years, right? And if we can do that, that would be like the I hate to use these guys, the cow turds in the 90s, where everybody knew they were going to run Emmitt Smith every year. We knew that Emmitt Smith was getting the ball, and you still couldn't stop it. So I'm with that. I'm with that. If we could do that, I'm okay with that. We do have that type of offensive line. If we could just impose our will on our opposing defensive lines, I'm with that. I'm just saying that there's going to be more, even more, because I get what you're saying. By the end of the season, everybody knew that we were running and they concentrated on Saquon, but even more so in this upcoming year, even more so they're going to be concentrating on him, and then we have to figure out what we're going to do then.
And then it's just talent. If you ain't got the talent, you ain't got the talent, period.
Yeah.
The Chiefs just don't match up with us. You know what I'm saying? That's just not a good. People forget we didn't just blow them out in the Super Bowl. The last time we played them was the time before that, and that was the last year. We beat their ass then too. You know what I'm saying? We beat their ass 2 times in a row. This is the second time we beat the Chiefs' ass. The Super Bowl they barely beat us. So in terms of the Jalen Hurts, this offense, these defensive coordinators that we got going to the team, like we own the Chiefs. So that's just a bad matchup in general, as them against us. But other teams, man, I'm just talking about the Steelers. Think of all the teams, Michael Parsons, the Cowgirls. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys, they had defensive lines, trying to come after us. But our offensive line is just elite, period. We got the best guard in football. We got 2 of the best tackles in football. And one of the best centers in football right now, the second best center in football right now. So it's like, as long as how we keep the offensive line strong like that, we can continue to do it no matter on who. It don't matter who, because you think about the best, thinking about the Rams. Everybody like the Rams match up with us the best. The Rams match up with us best because they got all that young talent on a D line.
They don't.
No, but the people are saying like the Rams have the biggest.
In the snow. But how about the dome?
They closed the gap on us the most. I've heard that this offseason they closed the gap on us the most. But even like them, like I knew the Rams weren't going to do nothing because Verse and all those guys are light guys. Those guys weigh like 100, 250 pounds, 225 pounds, 230 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Our offensive line pushes those guys out of the way. It doesn't matter how good you are. You can be the most talented 220-pound guy. You got a 240-pound lineman bulldozing you. Ain't nothing you can do about that.
But Verse had a full. Hey, look, that dude had a big game against us in the snow. So give him his respect. So I don't care how light they are. Talent matters. Scheme matters. So look, the biggest thing going into this upcoming season is play calling. It's not talent. We all know we had the talent. It's play calling, and that's what Dark Knight was getting at. Play calling is going to be the main issue, just like it was in 2023 when we collapsed, right? So it was about play calling. You know what I mean? So it's not about talent. It's play calling. So we'll see how Kevin does, but
Let's come talk this before we get out of here too. I know we're over an hour today. Salute to all you guys for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Everybody's link is inside the chat. Eagles Talk links inside the descriptions. Eagles Collective's links inside the description. Make sure you guys go sub these guys up, man. They put out that fire Eagles content. That's why I always try to get the best to be on the show and make sure we give you the best content. But that's what I want to talk about too before we get out of here too. A couple of things. One is the window. Like the window right now to me is what 2028. Is that what it is? Like, so you're talking about the next 2-3 years is the window. That we have to actually win more Super Bowls. I'm saying, like, do you think I'm hearing it now? It's like, do you think it's about to be time? I know this is looking ahead, but just the off season. Let's talk about some things that no one really talking about. The AJ Brown, the Smitty. Is it about time to draft another top flight receiver? Because there's this guy in college right now, my guy. And this guy in college is looking real good. And I know how we can get the draft picks to do it. But do you think we need to start worrying about it? Let's show some highlights of my boy.
And they're going to throw it out wide receiver screen. And the highly touted freshman drops his first one. Jeremiah Smith incomplete.
they're saying he is the next Calvin Johnson. He's better than any of these cats ever to come out, and he's only a rookie right now. Do you think the Eagles need to try to build up some seed? Because I think AJ got 2 more years on our team. That's the window. I think after 2 more years, we're not re-signing him to another contract. It's sad to say I love AJ, but he's a little older. And I think if you had to pick out of AJ or Devontae, Devontae's a little younger. You're probably going to keep Devontae and add another receiver.
I could see that. I could see that being a concern. I could see where you might look at the receiver position also, because in about 2 years, I think some of those young defensive guys will be coming up to be for a new contract. And we all know Jalen Carter's got to get paid. So it becomes a matter of fitting what we can afford. and we're going to have to trim some of the fat. So you look at the other high-paid positions on the team, and receiver is one of them. So I could see them possibly getting a receiver for the future. You know, that's the best way to combat the salary cap, right? Is when you get these good players and you have to pay some of them, you have to get cheap labor. Where do you get your cheap labor? The draft. You go out and you hit on these draft picks, and you get cheap labor for the first 4 to 5 years. So it does make sense what you're saying, BG. It does make sense. I don't even want to I don't even want to think about the prospect of not having these two dynamic wide receivers and being such. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm going to let you guys talk about it, because you just said our window is 3 years. So my focus, I'm laser focused on these 3 years. And my expectation is that if we do not win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, it's a disaster. I mean, it's a failure. I'm not going to say a disaster, but I'm going to be really disappointed if in this window of opportunities, next 3 years, if we don't win at least one more, I'm going to be really disappointed. And maybe I'm being greedy. I don't know. We didn't have a Super Bowl for 50 years, and we get 2, and now I'm saying I'm putting pressure on saying we need a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. But that's just how I feel. This is how good this team is. We have a window of opportunity open. We're a great team. I expect another Super Bowl in the next 3 years, at least one.
We need 2.
Yeah, we do need 2.
Good, guys. Like the talent, I feel like the Eagles are here. The next best team, maybe the Chiefs or Raven. They're like there. They're not. No, I don't feel like there's not one team, even with the offseason, even with the big moves, not one team has jumped up to be like, okay, we should be able to knock the Eagles off this year.
Well, we got to worry about Detroit. I think Detroit caught a bad break. They were really beat up last year. I think had they not been beat up, we see them in the NFC Championship game, and it's a game. And it would have been a game. I just think that we were the top 2 teams in the NFC, and it would have been a great game. Their offense up against our defense, our offense up against their defense, that would have been a match for the ages. So I think they'll be back. I don't know how much the coaching change is going to affect them, but they just had a rash of injuries that it just caught up to them. They performed even with these injuries, but it was just too many at the end of the day, and Washington got the best of them. But I was rooting for Washington because I wanted to see them again anyway, because they were talking bad shit. I was like, they are not that good. I want to see them again. They're not really this.
But hey, BG, with your whole wide receiver thing, if he's that good, the Eagles are not going to pick in the top 10, top 15.
Hey.
All right. So I'm not even going to talk about that, about the whole receiver thing, because if we are competing for a Super Bowl the next 3 years, we are picking a 29 to 32. What?
But what made us even this good? Think about it, guys. It was 3 years of having double first-round picks. Think about it. Our talent came from Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter. It was double first-round picks to get us to this point now. If we didn't have 2 first-round picks and all those drafts, we might not even be this good right now. So I know how we can do it.
We had Carson Wentz picks. Yeah. That's what helped us. We don't have no other picks.
But not all those picks with Carson Wentz picks. It's like 2.
Shit! A lot of it was.
But look, if you trade a guy like A.J. Brown, you can get a number 1 pick.
This is why. Look, this is the only thing that me and BG do not get along when he's just talking some bullshit like this, right? You know what I mean? I'm a real guy. He's more like, what if, I'm like, bro,
I think about
rumors. I don't want to be part of the whole rumor thing.
The now and the future, what the team needs.
Go ahead.
I think AJ Brown. I think having AJ Brown for what's that?
I was gonna say these are our top games next year. What game excites you the most, and who do you want the Eagles to play week 1?
Oh shoot, I got a good one. The Cowboys. Nothing like watching your divisional opponent raise up the banner and then get the ass on opening night.
It's a Thursday night game they're talking about.
Yo, that is setting the tone for the rest of the Cowboys season. Yo, we went to Philly opening night. We saw them pull up the banner, and then we got our ass beat by 30. Oh, shit. Our season is over. There's no hope. Wait the white flag before the season even started. That's who I want, but I know the NFL is not going to do that because of the whole rivalry thing in a big game. So, yeah, I think the Bears is it, man. Like, the Bears is a good story with Ben Johnson there, a good, solid young team on the up and up. So, my pick is the Bears, but I want the Cowboys.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you.
You want the Cowboys too?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
No. I was saying I'm kind of with you with the Bears just because it's a young team coming up, and with that whole rumor Adam Scheffler put out with the Bears being that starting team. I think, So apparently, Adam Scheffler after the Super Bowl, he was talking to somebody, and they mentioned that the team that's going to play. The Bears are supposed to be the team that the Eagles should be playing first game of the season. So it's crazy that you say that because, that just came out today. So I can definitely see that. A young, up-and-coming team. They did that with the Lions back when they played the Chiefs 2-3 years ago. And look where the Lions are at. So we can possibly see that.
Okay.
I mean, I would love that. I would love it for a competition aspect because I think we start off 1-0 for certain, right? So I would love to see that. I don't know if it's sexy enough for the first game of the season. I just don't know if it's sexy. I don't know the storyline. What? It's the young quarterback?
Ravens Chiefs last year, though. You know what I mean? Ravens Chiefs. That was sexy.
Yeah, right. You talking about? So I'm thinking. Maybe a playoff rematch or something like that. Who do we have?
Eagles, part 3.
Eagles, possibly.
Commanders, Eagles.
Eagles. I know they don't like to do a lot of division stuff at the beginning.
I know.
But maybe
Chiefs,
not that.
Eagles,
we play Detroit. No, that's definitely would be
they
too
can't
big
play
right
Chiefs.
there.
Fuck.
No, we can't. Not the Chiefs. I'm talking about
Lions. We
Lions.
go to the Chiefs this year. They don't play us at home. We don't play them at home. I forgot.
I don't want the matchup to be too big though. I would take the Bears because I want the win. I want the win. I really don't want a tough team because I don't want to spoil our banner hanging night. I want that to be a happy occasion. So I take the Bears. I don't know if it's the sexy enough matchup though. I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the schedule, I don't think it's going to be in a AFC opponent. I mean, hey, that's too early to have enter a conference games. Mm-hmm. But then the Lions, that's a Thursday night matchup to me. So the Cowboys, is my hope. But yeah, the Bears are the most likely team. Like, I mean, the Rams is another. Maybe Friday night, Saturday night, Christmas game type vibe.
Yeah.
And the Bears is like, okay, hey, let's see what you're all about. Hey, go face the Super Bowl champs. Hey, we'll see. And then we'll determine, if we flex you or not throughout the season, right? If you're playing a big game.
Do a Super Bowl rematch. We don't play the Chiefs, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we do? I do a Super Bowl rematch right there. There you go. That's the game. Because I think we can beat the Chiefs again.
Yeah,
so give me the Chiefs. Game, that will be huge. Oh, that's away. All right.
Is there a rule that we can't be away first week?
Why would you? It's
No, we don't
banner.
want to be.
No, Birdgang. Log off, Birdgang. Log off right now. Log off, Birdgang.
The Super Bowl team that wins don't play away the first week.
It's you
No,
are
they don't.
raising up
No.
your
I think
banner
I've seen
at
them. I
home.
think the Kansas City when they won, they went away in first week. Didn't have their
Bullshit.
banner.
You are raising your banner at home.
Yeah, because you
at
got to raise the
home,
banner.
That could be week 2.
Oh
Remember
my-
that first
you know what?
game? The first game of the season is always that Thursday. You know what I'm saying? That first guy, they get that extra first game of the season, like kind of that Thursday.
Bro, it's first game is always home, banner raising. Unless you do not win a Super Bowl, then yes, you can go on the road. You win, your crowd, they are expecting you to raise the banner, your Super Bowl banner. So of course you're not going to go away, and you're not going to wait till week 2, Birdgang. Log off.
Then it's easy. It's the Lions. It's the Lions.
Y'all want the Lions that early?
Everybody think the Lions.
I don't want the Lions that early, but but that's sexy though.
I think the
It
Lions.
definitely is.
Yeah.
The Lions, like you guys said, y'all want to see the Bears. Why? Because they got the Lions coach. You know, the offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? I think the Lions might take a step back on offense with Ben Johnson leaving.
I think they are too. Yeah, I think the Lions are going to take a step back.
Because they not only that, they got their offense and their defensive coordinators left. So the Lions, as good as they were last year, they might not be as good this year. No matter
I'm with that.
It's Dan Campbell. It's time to see what Dan Campbell can actually do.
I'm good.
What Dan Campbell can do.
No Bucks, huh? The Bucks always ruining our stuff.
Yeah, the Bucks, man. I don't
I
know
hate
what
the
it is
Bucks.
with them. I hate them.
I think we play the Bucks away too. They haven't played us at home in a minute.
Who do you got?
He said, "What the GG thinking?"
Talking about week 2, you raise the banner week 2. We didn't go away on the road to play the Chiefs. Man, just
what about the Raiders? Las Vegas Raiders.
No, boo.
That's not sexy either.
Ain't nobody watching that game.
Right there. Boom, right there. That's the highlight right there.
That's a 12 o'clock game on Sunday.
Yeah, that's
That's 12 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, what game would you not want to see? I mean, what game would you be like, no, I don't want to play them first?
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Raiders, like, nah, I don't want to see that.
I would want to play the Giants
had
first.
the 4th hardest schedule.
Chip Kelly back in Philly.
Who's Tim Kelly? Where's Tim Kelly at?
He's always scoring for the Raiders.
Oh, he is? I didn't even know that.
Pete Carroll's the head coach. Chip Kelly's the offensive coordinator.
He's not a player though.
Who's their quarterback though?
Yeah, I don't know who their quarterback. I wouldn't want to play the Detroit Lions first week. I wouldn't want to do that.
Detroit. That's my thing too.
I definitely want to. I wouldn't want to play the Commanders. That's a Sunday night game. I feel like Commanders is a Sunday night game, so
you know what?
I'll see it.
Hey, y'all sleeping on Detroit though. You know why? Detroit lost both their offense coordinator and the defense coordinator. Let's get them week 1 and belt.
That's what I said. I want
you know what I mean? And let's put it on.
Right. I didn't think of that.
Go. They're about to try to get their shit together. Hey, we already got our shit together. Let's go Detroit week 1. PTA.
That's a good point.
We want to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point.
I do want to see them self-destruct on their own.
Yeah.
That's
all that shit that they talking week 1. New offense coordinator, new defense coordinator. Hey, let's get them out the way because you know what? They're only going to get better throughout the season. Let's get them. Let's get week 1 out the way.
And that would be the sexy matchup.
Yeah,
week 1, that would be the sexy matchup. The two teams that probably should have been in the NFC Championship game. That would be sexy. That would be sexy.
It'll just be hard. Our coaching don't match up with them.
Hey, give me 2 games. So, all right. So, and let's go around. 2 games, 2 matchup that you think, not what you want, that you think the NFL is going to do week 1. Eagles versus who? Just give me top 2 throughout the whole game, throughout the whole season.
First week, right?
Yeah. 2 games that you think. 1 and I'm in your backup.
I mean the Detroit and I'll say the Rams.
So the Rams, with Detroit is the one that you think NFL is going to do, and then the backup is the Rams?
Yeah, I'll say that.
That's a good one. I would go I would go Bears and I would go Rams just because the Bears, you're looking at it as it's an up-and-coming team, kind of like what I talked about earlier. But then the Rams, that was a good game, especially in the snow. I think they want to try to see if they can get their lick back because they feel like it should have been them. So I think that would be a good game as well.
All right. Shoot. I'm gonna go the Bears. Well, the Bears. I think that NFL is going to do the Bears, but then my backup is the Commanders, the NFC Championship game. Why not? We play them at home anyway, so shoot.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say the Lions, and then the Bears. Cause I like Caleb. I'm a USC guy, so I'm looking at my stars from USC. Caleb Williams, my star. I want him to bounce back this year. I just want to beat them. I don't know. I want him to have a good game, but we beat them. And then the Lions, obviously, my boy Amon-Ra St. Brown think he can beat us. So I want to go ahead and slap him up a little bit just for being stupid.
I like that.
All right, guys. Well, let's get up out here. We're about an hour 30 up in here. Let's go with some final topics, final takes. Let's see. Well, I had something else I wanted to talk about too. Damn. No. Go ahead, JC. Say something.
Okay. Hey, look.
I had something. I'm trying to think of it. It was
look. All right. So all I have to say is this: this upcoming season should be a revenge tour for us, right? Not revenge as we're playing people. It's everybody is coming after us, but we about to go after.
Oh, I got it.
First.
Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, BG. Go ahead, man.
No, I got it now.
Man, you got Tourette's. Go ahead.
Okay. I got it. So I want to hear both of you guys. Where do you guys, now that Jalen's won Super Bowl MVP and a Super Bowl, where are you guys ranking them now? Because I'm tired of all this back and forth. Jalen ain't even top 10. Patrick Mahomes is number 1. I really think Jalen's better than Patty because he whooped on him twice. But
he's not. Come on now.
He don't even have elite stats all the time. Last year, his numbers were not suspect. So, where do you guys rank him? Who's number 2 to you guys? It'd be number 2 to me. Where are you guys ranking Jalen?
I'll let somebody else go first. I want to.
Oh,
yeah, I'll let somebody else go first.
Somebody else go first. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry.
Number 1. That's what I say. Number 1 quarterback in the league. I don't care about no passing stats. He wins. He does what he got to do.
He's not number 1 because, Patrick Mahomes got 3 Super Bowls. Regardless if he beat.
Super Bowl is a team thing.
BG, are you you ask the question and you're going to answer it too or what? Let me talk. Hey, mute yourself, my guy. All right. So Jalen is not number 1. I would never disrespect someone with more championship. And, he had to come back and beat the Philadelphia Eagles down by 10 multiple times a few years ago. So he earned that respect to be number 1. But then number 2 is iffy for me, right? Are you going off of clutch performance or are you going off inflated stats? To me, I want a guy that could show up in the clutch. So I'm going with Jalen Hurts all day. Lamar Jackson got a 13 touchdown, 8 interception ratio. You know what I mean? In the playoffs, in the biggest game. No. That's regular season, my guy. That's regular season. Mahomes did it in the Super Bowl, right? He got 3 rings. So I'm going just based off of Super Bowl appearances, Super Bowl performance, and he won the championship. None of these other guys on the list have a championship. You know what I mean? Have a ring. So you have to go with, I have to go with the eye test to me tells me that Hurts shows up in the biggest moment from college to the NFL, from Alabama, Oklahoma to Philly. He showed up in the biggest stage and he always wins. So I have to go with Hurts. Even though it's not sexy, it's not pretty, he's a team player and it takes a team to win a Super Bowl. not one guy. All these guys that got the one individual stats, losers. Hey, you know what I mean? But if you're a team guy, you win. So Hurts is 2 for me.
I don't know the question. I was off the line. What happened? What's the question?
Show them the picture again, BG. Who is the second best quarterback between Hurts, Burrow, Allen, and Jackson?
Oh, goodness. Burrow.
Okay. I can be mad at that. Why?
I think Burrow, just talent-wise, clutch-wise, I think he's up there. You know, some of these teams, I get what you're saying, and I'm definitely in agreement with what you say about Hurts being clutch and nothing but a winner. That's what you want, right? But Hurts has also been the beneficiary of having a great squad around him, where none of these other guys has a squad as good as this as Jalen has. Nobody. I mean, Joe Burrow has 2 great. Wide receivers. Don't get me wrong, but he don't have an offensive line like Jalen. He definitely got a defense like Jalen. So it's some things that's holding these quarterbacks back from being the winners that Jalen is. Now, you know, Jalen is a winner. I give him that. He does perform in the clutch in the big moments. I haven't seen Jalen really choke in a big game yet. I haven't. I just haven't seen him. And when we've lost big games, I don't think it was because of his performance. So I'll give you that. But just on pure skill quarterback play, I go with Burrow. I just had to be honest.
But you go ahead. How far down is Jalen?
Jalen, I had to put him over the next. I'll put him 3. I'll put him 3 because I think Lamar and Allen do have an equal amount of talent on their teams, and they're not getting it done. You know what I'm saying? So for what Joe Burrow's doing with less, you know what I'm saying, I'll give him a little bit more credit for that. These guys, I would say that Allen and Jackson have as much talent on their team as we have on our team, probably, right? They were expected to be. They were Super Bowl contenders just like we were, right? And they just didn't get the job done. So in that sense, Jalen is better than them. I'm sorry. I know people around the country probably look at me like, you're crazy. You're crazy. No, I'm not crazy. Jalen has won a Super Bowl. These guys you put above him have not been to a Super Bowl, let alone won one. They haven't even sniffed one. You know what I mean? They haven't sniffed one, and in the year, like, this was their year to go. This was the best chance they had to do something, and they both choked. Both of them, Allen and Jackson, both choked. So Jalen's better than them.
Did he?
Who?
Burrow,
he wasn't even in it.
Yeah. What about you?
No, those guys, no.
No, I'm kind of right there with you. I'll put Burrow up there, number 2, and then Jalen, number 3. Just because Burrow has beat Patrick Mahomes in the big games. So he's went to the Super Bowl. He doesn't have the defense and the offensive line, like you said, to where he could compete. But Jalen's just clutch. At the end of the day, like, he can have a good defense. You can have wide receivers, but somebody's got to throw them the ball. Like, somebody's got to throw the ball. So I think the fact that Jalen does have that Jordan-like clutch gene in him to where it's time to just turn the light switch on and just, this is the game time. I think Jalen has that, and I truly don't think Lamar, Burrow, or Allen have that. I do not think they have that. That's kind of where I'm at, because when you look at Josh Allen's accolades and Lamar Jackson's accolades, they have higher accolades, but the only thing that matters is Super Bowl appearance, at least. And they're not even sniffing that because they're not getting through Patrick Mahomes. And Joe Burrow's the only one doing that. And the only reason why I think everybody puts the talent that Jalen has around him, but these teams had some talent around them too.
Yeah.
Like, Zay Flowers is no slouch. Like, you can't sleep on Zay Flowers. You got Mark Andrews. Like, he has players out there. I think, yeah, that's just where I'm at. I would have to put Jalen Hurts 3 and
And
Joe Burrow 2.
and remember, the year that we collapsed, the Eagles had the 31st ranked defense, but also that year we had Jalen Hurts had 6 double digits comebacks that year. So even if your defense is trash, he still could bring you back because he's capable of being a dual threat quarterback, at a high level when trailing. So that year that we was ranked dead last on third down, like we had 6 double digits comeback during that 10-game winning streak. We was down by 10 against the Commanders, against the Cowboys. We were down double digits, and he brought us back. So we have to take that into consideration also. But that's why he's 2 to me, regardless, because Burrow, no team goes in the game saying we have to stop Joe from running. It's let's stop Shamar Chase. Because you stop him, Burrow has nobody else to throw to, right? But there's no dual threat of running, or hitting it off because you got to worry about the RPO. But Jalen Hurts put the fear of God because you got AJ, Smitty, and now Barkley, but him passing and running himself, we saw it in the Rams' first possession where he held it, they tackled Barkley in the backfield. He pulled it and ran for a touchdown. So none of those other guys besides Lamar Jackson, but Lamar is so wild with it, right? He's like happy feedback. Like he's like never settled. Like Hurts is like, okay, we're 1, 2, 3, run. Lamar is like run, and then he's not as composed as Hurts to me. So I have to put Hurts, and he outplayed Mahomes every time he played Mahomes. He outplayed him. I have to keep that into my thought also. So Hurts is 2 to me.
And that's why Hurts is 1. You guys all made my case of why he's number 1. Super Bowls don't matter. That's a team thing. Listen, this is going to sum it up for you right here. Boom. Boom, right there. That's going to sum it up for you guys.
If you want speed, get Lamar Jackson. If you want accuracy, get Drew Brees. If you want physicality, get Josh Allen. If you want arm talent, get Mahomes. If you want the GOAT mentality, get Tom Brady. But if you want all of that, get Jalen Hurts. I don't know about the arm talent, though. That's bullshit. The arm talent is not there.
No, I hate when people say that. We always talk about how he throws dimes. Okay? I know we got good receivers like AJ Smitty, but a lot of the ball placement on all those throws is arm talent. What do you guys think arm talent is? Accuracy. What was he? The number 1 accuracy with a clean pocket. Number 1 accuracy, against the blitz. How can none of that stuff matter when you're a quarterback throwing the football? What you wanted to call him was a running back all those years. Yes, he is a talented runner. But now, the last couple of years, he put in accuracy throwing the ball, and now y'all still don't give him the respect he deserves. He's number 1 to me.
Whoa. All right. So this is off topic, but the Pacers came back and won.
Are you serious?
To 119. The game is over. 120 to 119. The Pacers
That's my team, too. That's my team.
No.
I've been waiting for I've been waiting since I was born to watch.
They were down by 5 with 20 seconds left. They came up and won 120 to 119.
That's my team. We won a championship.
But Mobley and Garland did not play, you know what I mean? But still, that's 2-0. That is Cleveland. So now they got to go to Indiana. So, yikes.
They're winning it all this year. Are you here first from Birdgang?
That's tough.
He's finally going to win a championship, my guy. It's going to be
awesome.
But last off, go ahead and let everybody know what you're going to be doing, guys. For the next couple of weeks, and then we're gonna get out of here. Go ahead.
Tell where
they can find you at too.
Yeah, most definitely. So you can find us on YouTube, Eagles Collective Podcast. You can also find us on our Facebook group, Eagles Collective Podcast. Twitter. We're on TikTok. We all over. We should be going live next Wednesday to go over the schedule. Going live Wednesday, 7:00 on the head, and we just getting ready for this season. Hopefully, we can.
Are you part of a podcast or something?
Yeah, so it's 4 of us, and we're all part of the Eagles Collective podcast.
Okay. Yeah. All right, yo, I'm definitely going to check y'all out, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yo, I like your your vibe, your energy. I mean, that's what's up.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Dark Knight, what are you gonna be doing? Are you still there, or did you leave already? Dark Knight is Eagles Talk. Like you said, he's gonna be coming back doing some shows with Eagles Talk. I love that show, man. That's another one, man. Like they're really, really big on. I remember that's where I found them from. They're really big on Facebook, man. They got a huge following on there. You know, they really good things. You know what I'm saying over there. That's what made me want even. You know, we had a show called what was our show called, Dark Knight? State of the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? And we did that last year for a little bit. But you know what I'm saying? He had things going on with his show and whatnot. But we're definitely gonna work together some more. I don't know if he's gone or not, so I don't really want to close him out, but I close him out anyway. So make sure you go subscribe to Eagles Talk. You know, those guys bring fire over there. They're funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? They definitely do their thing over there, and they definitely got a huge, huge following on that Facebook tip. So, and you know, JC and BG gonna always be here.
Wait, hold up. Hey, let me speak for myself. Yo, I'm thinking about just coming back, baby. You know what I mean? Hey, trying to get some, one-on-one collabs going on. You know what I mean? Hey, just shoot the shit with the Eagle fans and some content creators, man. And also the NFC East, the Commanders, Cowboys and Giants. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about, on a Friday night show, you know what I mean? And we all on our couches with with our drinks in our hand, and let's shoot the shit. So maybe I'm thinking about it though, but we'll see what happens. But that's what I'm brewing right now. You know what I mean? A comeback show, you know what I mean? Solo act, even though I won the Oscar about 10 times, but boy over here, you know what I mean? Solo again. So I'm really thinking about just doing my own show again, BG. You know what I mean? On top
BG
of
makes you better guy.
No,
I bring the excitement. I bring the fun.
No. On top of the, BG, the truth on Tuesday night. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about
JC started this when I started, man.
Jump.
Okay. Good, man. Me and JC, we done had like 3 different show titles, 3 different shows. We're on the truth now. We had 2 other shows before. People love seeing us together. I love working with the guy, man. Like as much as we argue, bicker, we both some real Eagle fans. That's at the end of the day. That's what we're doing.
Hey, that's what it's all about, bro. We may not all agree, but we all got the same goal.
And this is why I tell the truth and he's tell lies. All right, BG.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.
Next episode, we are all out. Birds.
Gone on, everybody, man, and welcome